Okay.
I figured that way you can demo it for us once, but then if we rather than us calling you up and bugging you, just be like, hey, I remember he went through that.
Gotcha. So, so Jim, and I'll walk you through the steps on how to do it. But you would be simultaneous, Jim, with the client you're talking to, so you can see what they're seeing. You would click buttons, or I can help you set this up down the road, because I know not everybody's techie. So what you're seeing is my phone. So when I start with a presentation, of course I get to know them. You guys know how to do that. Figure out what their business is. But I always start with this, and I say, okay, this is my cell phone. Imagine opening your phone up, and there's InPhone. They'll see this and go, how many times a day are you opening your phone up? The lady I met just an hour ago, she's 75 times already this morning. So they're going to see whatever the business logo, or they can do this is called a favicon. You've probably seen that, Joanne, when you signed up.
Yeah.
It allows you to do a headshot or a logo. That's your choice or the company's choice. So I say, well, can you imagine how many times they're going to see that? And then I just open up the InPhone. Start from the top. This is a customized billboard. We can message whatever message you want. We can do videos. I suggest they not be too long because people are not going to stay on the InPhone that long. Most people are just doing slides. We can do up to 10 slides, but we think 3 or 4, and you can make that decision. By then, they're not going to get the message anymore. 3 or 4 is probably the max. And then I start here at the top and I say, yeah, have you seen a digital card before? Oh yeah. And Jim actually has one called Bump. I say, well, here's the digital card part of InPhone, but we're much different. We're the next level. And if they haven't seen it, I just do this. Can you imagine your customers doing this? Click and boom, it takes them right to their phone. They want to send you a text, boom. And you can also, do that. And then how many times you forgot an email? How many times an email wrong? You know what? You don't have to remember. They don't have to remember your email anymore. They can just click a button and have access to you now. Not go and search for your email. Is it in a text? Was it on social media? It's all in phone. Words I use for this is your business hub, business in a box. Your business journey or story is on one platform. I'm just throwing out what I do. You guys are super smart. You probably could do better than I can. So I start with that. If they haven't seen it, I still kind of show them those. But then the next question is, well, how do I share it? So I just take the QR code. And what I'd have them do is take their camera. You guys already have it. And just walk them through the steps. The lady earlier was like, I don't know. I said, Julie, let me walk you through the steps. She did it. She had added the home screen. She goes, well, that's pretty cool. I don't know anything about tech. I could do that. So walk them through that step. And Jim's going to do it right now, which I love Jim. He's proactive.
Hey, Steve.
Go ahead.
Does InPhone automatically create that for you as a button and then provides the QR code, or do we need to go capture a QR code of our own and send it to InPhone?
Only for Nick, they do it. Everybody, no, I'm kidding. No, this is developed so when you get your InPhone, like Nick did, like I did, it's unique to your InPhone.
Awesome.
And we do that for you. That's a great question. That's why I love bringing Joanne on. She challenges me. So does Jim. And he's going to challenge me here in a second. So I show him that, kind of give him the feel what it's like. What I'm doing with this, because it's a demonstrative product, I just getting off the phone with that guy, Brian, Nick, that Bob he couldn't get it until I told him to pull it up on the phone. Oh, dude, I could do this. So we really want to get them in front of it. Now, if they get concerned about that or not comfortable, I just say, click here and look what happens. It changes URL copied. I say, can you imagine? Now your customer, client, prospect can just do this and they can text it. They can put it on social media messaging, whatever. So I walk them through that step and you guys go the steps you want. But that's kind of what I do. So they have an idea how to share it. I say, that's your digital card you're probably used to, but now imagine having all your services. And if you guys, I can type this in the chat, but the best comment that James taught me was, we answer 4 questions. Who are you? And I'll type it if you guys need. What service or product do you provide? Really important. Are you credible or trustworthy? by your testimonials, by your reviews, by your About Us page. And then I say the most important thing is, how does your customer, prospect, client get a hold of you now? So I work that into the presentation to where it fits. If you need help with that, let me know. Pretty good, Joanne. I'm pretty pumped sharing this with you. She's been my mentor for a long time. This is great.
Well, you know me, I'm coming at it completely from branding and marketing.
Right.
And I still think one of the sexiest components of this is you have your entire brand in one place. So no longer are you saying, oh, look at my Facebook, or go visit my Instagram, or go visit here. Your whole brand, your whole digital footprint now is right here.
It's
super awesome.
I mean, I know you're going to use that, and I'll start using that too, because that's exactly it. And sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. Now with my InPhone, I kind of go down to services that we provide. I go, can you imagine how many times has Zoom screwed up for you, like it did this morning for me? We talked about this, Nick. So now we're connecting.
That's literally how because you sent out the invitation and I was like, where's the Zoom link? And I was like, oh, you know what? I just went to your info and just clicked on the Zoom button.
That's pretty awesome. Sorry, Jim, I didn't have that for you. I apologize. I got to fix that link. So I show them that, which is real powerful, especially most people using Zoom. I'll do the calendar. Hey, jump in the calendar. And I always say, after your customer client goes through it, they're going to go back eventually to your InPhone. I went too far. And what I love about InPhone, besides the branding joint that you're talking about, we're taking back to that branding. Where we take them to a website to make an appointment, they're lost in the internet universe. Well, here they make the appointment. Now they're coming back again to look at something else. So that's, brochures. We have an InPhone brochure, which will give you, a link to that. So I say you can put your brochure in. You can put Google Forms on here because they have a link tied to it. And I've added this, just so you guys know. James thought it was kind of goofy, but he likes it. So I've added my grocery list. So when I go to the grocery store, I pull up my InPhone with Google Docs, and I just did this yesterday. Made my order, just work right off there. So kind of making it personal.
That's great.
Isn't that wild? And there's no cost for the client to do that. With Google Docs, Google Forms, spreadsheet, they all can be buttons here because they have a unique link, internet link to that. So I kind of show that Do
you get compliments on the healthy fats that you're eating?
James was worried, like, what are you giving out there personally? I'm glad he didn't say McDonald's, Arby's. Joanne would have killed me. She knows I got to stay healthy for her. So I show those, and then let's say it's a financial advisor. So when I come, and you guys will get this button when you get your InPhone, and you'll get this, Nick, is all our industries that we're adding to. So, and this is alphabetical. So I just grab the financial advisor. I go, hey, Joe, here's an example of one of our advisors. He's got a few numbers that he uses. You don't have to have one number. If you got multiple offices at no cost, we can add those buttons. Website, I think this is cool. Client login. So what is he doing? He's bringing his clients and customers back to his InPhone because this is where they log into their back office. His podcast. And Jim, I want to show you that podcast, YouTube channels people are putting on here. He works with CPAs, but then here's his industry, what he does, estate planning, plan for retirement, Social Security. You click on it, and people are going to literally click on it, and they're going to learn about what he offers and some of the information that he wants to educate people with. So it's a great education tool. Now, I use Nick's story. Nick, I've told your story 1,000 times. So I tell people this. I'm going to pull up Nick's card, and I show you what happened. And it's just super powerful. Let me pull you up, Nick. You can see I save all my InPhones here just to show people how many InPhones there are, and I can share these with you. There's Nick. So I built Nick's card, and I love his picture. Isn't that a great picture? Every time I see it, it makes me smile. But when I was looking through it, checking, making sure everything's okay, and we had everything. I saw charity, and I'm, me, Joanne, She knows me real well. I love charity. Well, I opened it up. This is exactly what I did, Nick. And I went, oh my God, he's got a charity for kids. And I kind of went through it a little bit. I donated. Remember you reached out to me and go,
Yep.
hey, Steve, I saw you did a donation. And I said, because we might talk for another year and never talk about your charity.
Yep.
Because of InPhone, only because of InPhone. That's legitimate. I tell people, I show your card. I go, it's right here. And I clicked on a donation. So imagine all the branding, as Joanne says, and all the services you provide. Every time they come back, they're going to see something they didn't see before. On a website, you get lost. But because it's here, it's unique look. We go to somebody. Well, here's a Medicare guy. You know, he's got Medicare, life insurance, health insurance. He kind of does what we do, Joanne. Get a quote. Well, somebody looks at Medicare because they're 65, but then they see health insurance and they click on it. And this is what I'm doing a presentation kind of. And maybe this is something that their brother's looking for. They're under 65. They need health insurance. Well, John can provide that. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Great.
Are you ever going to have, so one of the things that kind of comes up in my mind is, you know, what if someone is constantly wanting to add or make changes or like all of that stuff? Do they just have to contact us and then we send it to the back office? Or will there ever be a sort of a self-service kind of a thing like, hey, I want to add a button and just see how it looks? Or
yeah, it's a great question, which I hear a lot. Right now it's going to go through, for you guys, it's going to go, and it's up to you. I like to be hands-on. I'm not going to be able to do it with everybody because it's starting to grow, but I like to be hands-on. But Joanne she bought hers this morning and filled out the form and she was done. So you're going to have a lot of people do that. Then you're going to get an email. First, you'll get an email, which will show you sold an InPhone. And then you're going to get an email that it's done with all the information they filled out with their unique link. And then you can share it with, I'll share it with Joanne. I think Sophia, the designer that's working on it, will send it to Joanne as well. The reason we don't want our clients to get in this, because if they design this with 3 buttons, it's going to squish the InPhone and the branding goes out the door. It looks absolutely terrible. Or this guy puts 150 buttons on here. And we've got this long ass, and he's sharing it, and people are seeing the InPhone, and you reach him and go, oh yeah, Joe Smith's got the InPhone. He's got 800 buttons. I would never, that's what I thought it was about. So we want to keep control of the branding, because I thought we could do that, but Ron had a nice conversation with me because one of our designers did it wrong. Like, we don't need your phone number and email in this billboard. Let's make it a message, because it's all down here on these buttons. So Ron changed it and said, and this is why I do it. We like 12. You can do more than 12. You can do 50 if you want, but make sure it works. We can do 900. I tell people that because they'll never do 900 because there's limitations on other cards. That's why they ask them.
Yep.
But
So like, what if you want to make a change? Do you just go back to the setup form and just make the change in the setup form, or like, what do you do?
Well, we're going to work on that. Right now, I just tell people, for me, hey, email me. And again, Julia earlier had a question. It's not cumbersome. So she wants to add, she's a travel agent. She wants to add a sandals button with a link. Yeah. I said, just email me sandals link, you're done. And we'll add the button. Now this gets a little more difficult, but we could do that. They want to send more pictures, things like that.
Is there any extra charge for that?
Jim, there is not. It's unlimited changes through the whole year.
Okay. But that, how are you going to scale that up with a lot of people?
We have 15, designers ready, and another 25 behind them. So boom, 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 boom. James is already looking at 100,000 InPhones. And I think we might hit 1 million by the end of next year, maybe more. Because it's really ramping up.
It's taking off like crazy.
Yeah, because
I was telling Steve Remmel the other day, I was like, man, you were smart how you did this, because you got in there. It's like, I feel like you've been in H7 for what, like maybe a month max. And you've got about 25% penetration.
Oh, easily. I've sold 7, 8 cards,
Yeah.
which
know.
those, and here's the great thing for you guys and me as sales reps, Phil, whatever you want to call us, is James was talking about this last night, and it's true. I started with 3 in November. December, I was 6. January, I was 20. Now I'm over 150. Because what happens is those 3 start, like Steve Remmel, I'm getting calls from him. Hey, my realtor just saw, and all he did was, here's my InPhone, click on make an appointment button.
Yep.
And they did that and they go, wow, that is way cool. What's
Yeah.
this about? How can I get it? So your clients, as you share this, and Jim, this lady from Bump, when you share it with her, once she shares it with everybody else compared to what, it's a great card, the Bump card, but we just take it to the next level. And it's unfortunately, Jim's Bump card was it $300 a year? Do you remember?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So we become affordable. James set it up purposely because we used this number, they used the number. We're thinking people spend about $80, $100 a year on their business cards paper. And of course, half, 25% get thrown out because something changes, whatever. And then with COVID, so we kind of tried to price it there. He didn't know the pricing of some of these other places, other cards there. So, and then the $240, and I'll show you the price packages. I know, Jim, we talked about that earlier. What else do I do? Oh, here's the thing that really separates us, besides all those other great things, is the referral agent, your network. Joanne, Nick, and all of us, we live off networks. I know, Jim, you sent me some things and you got a huge network. Well, imagine them sitting here, and when I add somebody to my network, those 500 people have my info today. I just added somebody. I just added this LinkedIn playbook. Those 500 people have that. So my network grows. That grows with all the other 500 people that are sharing my info now. So you want to tell people, as you bring your network, come get an info. I'll add you to my personal network. It's also going out to all those info. So it can really massively grow. I mean, 1,000, 2,000 people, maybe 10,000 in the year will see their business or be available to them. So this is huge. James brought this to InPhone. It wasn't part of it when Ron started 3 years ago. But James has built his businesses on referrals and on networks. He actually teaches realtors how to be better realtors. And one of his presentations is he brings out a binder with free info. And he has business cards, because he's a realtor, of every single trade that he uses: landscaper, house cleaner, stager. So he took that model, and now he's got the referral agent. And guess what? There's no cost for that. You need 11 InPhones, because we don't want to have a referral agent with 2 people. Again, the branding and guys, you're just not going to look like Steve Ramona's got a network of two businesses. Whoa, he's kicking butt, But you see this, and some of them are networking groups, but these are all my network I work with. What we'll do is, before they're 11, we put the 10 down here. So we'll put them below so they can still have a referral network. As they, when I sign somebody up, I say, who do you know that you work with that could use this, that we can have part of your network? So that's another way you can sell this. Hey, realtor, I just met with Nathan Yoles. I said, you have a stage? He goes, oh yeah. I said, we could put them here and make that work. And that's for everybody. A florist works with a wedding planner, works with a caterer, works with a location for the wedding, works for jewelry. That kind of mentality is what this is all about. Here. And this is just an example. This is James's. You can see how big it is. Got a huge network. And this can be big. One, it's alphabetical, but 2, this is really powerful. So it's okay that this is really long. I mean, you got 100 people in your network. Nick looks like a guy that's really sharing, helping people with their business. And just a side note, this guy, the first year James worked with him, James has an auto dealership. He did $1 million in sales from referrals from James, because somebody buy a car. Hey, you need a car detailed in a couple of months? Reach out to Grant. And of course, Grant brought him business. So you guys know that, but I just like to share these stories in case you want to share with people why we do this. And again, the InPhone's great. Now, one thing that comes up is, well, I don't want to push InPhone. Well, we can do a Google Docs, or they can do a Google Docs like my grocery list, and put painter, phone number, email, name, financial advisor, and just make a Google list. And that works just as well, because then they can pull it up and say, okay, here's Nick's number, email, boom. So I didn't like, not that James is doing that, but I said, we have to find an alternative, because we don't feel, because people are going, do you have to have an InPhone? From a business standpoint, we want them to, but we also want them to use their network or have their network available. Any questions, comments? Thumbs up so far?
Good stuff.
Good, okay. The other thing I like to focus on, and I'll show you the premium service in a minute, is the ability to share their business. I just say, I was at a grocery store last week, and I met a guy. He goes, Steve, what are you doing today? I haven't seen a guy in a year. He goes, oh, I'm part of this business info, national, da, da, da. He goes, oh, what is it? So I pulled it up, and he goes, oh, that's way cool. I said, here, let me show you. Boom, boom. He said, oh, wow, that's on my phone. It stays there forever. I say, can you imagine, Jim, your business, when you're walking around, or your customers, clients, or prospects are walking around, and they're doing that. Not just you, but all those 500 people that have my InPhone can do the same thing. Or if they just want to text it, he goes, hey, Steve, just text it to me. I copy and paste. I'm not there, but I go to my text program. I'll pull up Joanne, because I love Joanne. Where's Joanne? Right there. So I go, I'm going to send it to you, Joanne, here. Boom. Again, it can't be any simpler than that to really get your, share your business. Because I really see this just monopolizing, people sharing and sharing and sharing. Now, Nick, I want you to tell Jim and Joanne your story, the in-person meeting you went to, what happened.
Oh yeah. So literally the day after I bought the InPhone and got it. So I met Steve at a networking event and I was instantly okay, I got to have this. So I get the InPhone. The next day I went to a sales training. I was out of state. So I went to Indiana. This is the first in-person thing I went to in months because of COVID. And I was like, okay, well, it's a training, whatever. I didn't think to bring business cards with me. So I'm sitting there, we're having a lull in the training and all these other people are around me. And he's like, hey, well, what do you do? And I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm in app development. He's like, oh really? I actually need an app developer. Do you have a business card on you? And I was like, shit, I don't have oh, you know what? Pull out your phone. I pulled out my InPhone and I was like, all right, here, scan this QR code. And I just held it right up to him. He scanned his QR code and he's like, oh, okay, cool. So literally the day after I bought it.
Now what happened during the meeting though, that you told me about with that guy when he got your InPhone?
Oh yeah, he put it on his phone.
And he started pushing buttons, right? Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, he already started pushing buttons and he's like, oh, dude, you have a podcast? Do you have this? Do you have that? I can't remember am I remembering what you're asking me, Steve?
That's it. No, that's it. And I tell that story too. Nick, you're kind of my sales presentation. Big part of it.
I'm fine with that.
No, I know you are. And that's the thing is when people get it, they start playing with it. Yeah. And that's another marketing thing, branding that Joanne talked about. Well, they click on something and go, oh my God, Medicare. Oh my God, my mom needs help with her Medicare. I didn't know he did that because he pushed the button and there comes his Medicare. So it's working and it's happening all the time.
Dave, show me if I asked you about your keep in touch business or your greeting card service, where is that on your phone? It's
not on this one because this is my InPhone one. I have a different InPhone for my businesses. I wanted to keep it separate. I want to focus this on InPhone.
Okay, that's why. So you have two phones?
Yeah. I actually have three. I purchased three.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
You don't have to do that. But I just felt when I did this, and I don't want to feel like I'm selling somebody, Jim. I want them to focus on InPhone. But what comes about is a conversation. Happened last week. We're talking. I brought on a personal trainer. I was talking about insurance. Insurance came up, and I showed him my insurance one. He goes, "Dude, I'm paying $1,400 a month for insurance." He goes, "Are you serious?" So I got to look into it. So it kind of leads to my other business. So I show him my other info, and it focuses on the health medical cost sharing. I should say insurance.
Okay. So if we were meeting in a coffee shop right now, you would have your other phone with you, and that other phone might even would have an InPhone button too.
But no, it doesn't have to be another phone. They're all right here. Here's my health one. I'll just pull them up. So if they're interested in health and want to save money there, that's there. Which has my Zoom and my calendar. And then here's my one with the mailbox power, all my different business. Now, the reason I don't show this, I only bring when people are interested.
That's smart.
It's just too long. When I first started working with them, I got to bring mailbox. They took it out.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
that's okay, I'll
smart
bring
because
it
sometimes when people meet with you, I'm probably interrupting you, man, but
That's
like
right.
a lot of times when people first meet with you, if they hear like, okay, this person's in this, they're doing this, they're doing this, what does this guy really do? Maybe they're a fly by night kind of person. So I think it's smart for you to focus on one thing, because then it's like, okay, they're legit, they know what the heck they're doing. And then if they find about your other stuff later on, I think it's more impactful.
And I agree with that. I had to learn that because I want to throw and vomit. Joanne has brought me off the cliff a number of times because I get so excited about stuff. Go ahead, Jim.
No, so I'm confused. See, you don't carry 3 phones with you.
No, it's they're digital. Your InPhone, you can have, look how many InPhones I have here. I've got, all these are InPhones. So you can make, you don't need to do this. I do it because I like to see what I've got.
Okay.
So you can carry all your which is why I bought 3 of them, because I keep them all right here. So if somebody says, "Hey, I want to be put, mailbox power, I heard you do it," I click on it, show them, click on the mailbox power button. Well, let's use my dog shop. This is a great story. Julia earlier, I showed her this. That's kind of what I do. And I said, "I even do dog shop. I sell dog stuff." She goes, "Oh my God, you got to send that to me. I'm going to buy something." I haven't had a sale in 3 months because I don't market it. I just got a sale because I just showed her again, it leads back to InPhone. It's just amazing. But we've got to be careful, like you said, Nick. We don't want to throw too much on her. But she saw it. She said it to me. She's looking at this and she goes, "Dog shop, what's that?" I said, "Let me show you." She goes, "Oh my God." So passively sharing some of the things you do. Joanne, I think this is helping you as well. I know you had some thoughts about that.
Well, I also have a question, actually.
Uh-huh.
So let's say, for example, Melissa bought her InPhone from you, right? So she's got get your InPhone as a button on hers. Is that linked to you? So when, so she refers it out, somebody else purchases. So every one that you sell or that becomes part of your referral network, so they have that tracking capability. So Melissa refers somebody, you get credit. Now that person has an InPhone and it says get an InPhone, and that 2nd generation, 3rd generation, 4th generation, they're all linked to you?
Correct. You'll get an email for every one of those people that click the get your info button, fill out the form, make the payment. You'll get the email. We have a back office that we're building that's almost done that will show everybody that's part of your network.
Wow. Okay, so forgive me because I'm getting off topic here, but I clicked on Melissa's button just for fun. And it says save $100 with this friends and family discount offer.
Okay, you got to refresh it because we've changed it. If somebody pulls something up, because it's like a website and cookie, and help me, Nick, understand, but if you pull up an InPhone and people say, "Hey, the button you added's not there," they've got to do a refresh because the browser is pulling up the old cookie. If I'm saying that right, Nick?
Yeah, that's right. You got to refresh your cookies. So it's basically cookies are used to make it so you don't have to like reload a web page time and time again, right? But the problem with that is your browser will just pull up whatever's saved from the last time you used it, and you'll have to refresh it.
Right.
But I never clicked this button before, Steve, just so you know. This is the first time I've ever clicked this button.
Let me pull it up. Let me check myself. And again, it could be a problem. I mean, it could be, needs to be fixed because that's the old form. She's, what is she? Melissa?
MB.
MB.
That's another thing. So you know how LinkedIn lets you customize your LinkedIn URL? Have you guys ever thought about being able to customize your InPhone URL?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I offer to people, clients, what we do is usually use your initials. But if there's something like I did health, I did this customization here. So mine says health. You don't see it, but it's health is the customization. Absolutely. If it's available, like any URL, if info.co/Nick's the greatest is available, we'll do it. I've had people put their full name, their business name, whatever you want. What'd you use, Joanne?
You know what, Steve, to be honest, I forgot to mention that in my notes.
But we can change it because you haven't given it out. The only problem is if you have it now and you've been like, I was going to change my SR1 to InPhone, and change the way if you do that, those 100 people won't be able to access it because the links change. So they all go blank, and I don't want that to happen because I've given so many out. But Joanne, you haven't given any out, so we could change that.
So how do I, since I don't have mine just yet, do I wait till I get it? And then is there a way to contact them, or do I just write to?
I'll be your king and I will do it for you. Tell me what you want. I'll email Sophia.
I don't know if I want brand or branding.
Well, you can think about it. I mean, we could change it. If you get it, just don't give it out and then we'll change it. And then,
let me think on it.
Hey, Steve, I've got to run. I've got a conference call at 12:15.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Or 1:15.
I was going to say 12:15, you missed it.
Yeah. Arizona never changes its time. It gets me so confused. But,
did this help, Jim?
Yeah, a little bit. And, I'd probably need to hear it a couple more times and figure out how I would want to use it. But especially the video conferences, because I think that's pretty unique to your phone, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And here's the file share before you leave. So literally it's an encrypted, and it says here, HIPAA compliant file share. It can be done on a computer or a phone. You hit send, whatever you're sending, find any file. Click it. And then you hit select, and then already selected it.
So how do I don't have that file share.
We're going to get you guys that so you can see it turn on. We're going to get you that. Right now, if you want to share it, just use mine, InPhone.
Okay.
Use the video conference. James talked about last night, and this is what I love about James, is it costs us every time somebody puts that, because it's a third party. We didn't develop it. So they're charging us for every button. But he's working on getting a deal, and if they lose a little bit of money, because I think it's a vital tool.
Yeah.
I mean, Clayton's going really excited about it. I just reached out to him. He wants to add the video conference. So this is way cool. And then, of course, you guys, I don't know if Joanne, you've seen this. So this is a one-on-one video conference. And I say things like, well, I have an Android. Joanne, you have an iPhone. I can't connect with you on FaceTime. I'm not going to go to Messenger and find that. And then one-on-one, there's Google Hangouts, there's WhatsApp. I'm just not going to go all those places. So this is a quick, dirty, get into a one-on-one video chat. I click host, and they click.
I gotta leave now, Steve, because I'm starting that call. So
go ahead. We'll talk soon.
Nice talking to everybody.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks.
So you
go with branding.
Yeah, go with branding, he says.
Just talk to you later.
See you later. So you can see we're in a video conference right from the phone, but also works on the computer. James does all his meetings now with that video chat. Yeah, cool. And then this is pretty cool. Not super excited, but this is a text chat like you see on, and Nick, you're probably familiar with those little chat buttons in the bottom of the website. Well, you can do that through the InPhone. You see this request. So I get a text that somebody wants to chat. And then I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. It comes into the text. So here it is. So I got this text. I click on it. And there it is. Back and forth chat, the location, their IP, all this stuff. And then, we go back and forth and chat, and it's not your phone number that's showing. It's just the text chat. People that want to show up their private number, if you're comfortable with email or a text, that's fine. But this makes you look like a business because it says visitor. I don't know who this is. I can go, how can I help? I go back to my text chat. Well, actually, I'm chatting to, that's kind of hard. Oh, here it is. So how can I help? And then there's a banter. Now, the nice thing is you can save this whole chat in a document and then refer back to it if it's a client that leaves their phone number, email, or has questions. It's kind of a cool service. And then included, we do have a number. I don't know if that's available yet. We can have an 800 number. That could be up here. They could call office if somebody wants to brand themselves as a business more. Instead of calling your mobile, it will call your mobile, but it'll show up 800-235-8000, whatever.
Oh, so that could be like an add-on. So
exactly.
okay.
Like
And
Google Voice.
It's an extra fee, I'm sure, right?
Right. Let me show you what that is. And this is what you guys are going to get to. Let me go. And then I'm going to share with you all those different. Actually, do it on the computer because I don't have it saved here. You're going to get the same link, which is an affiliate link. You guys ever use Clip?
Nope.
Click what?
Can you see this menu I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is saved. All my last 100 copies are saved. And then you can save them forever. Like here's my InPhone. It stays there forever. It's free. I use it all the time. I can search clips. What's this? It pulls up all the clips with the 1155. It's called Clip. If you lose all copy, save, copy and paste it right there.
Clip.
Clip.
Is
That's
that
bonus.
That's like a plug-in.
Exactly. It sits on your computer. So this is what you guys are going to get. Nice little talk about InPhone, some industries, your picture, making it personal to you. So when they open it up, you send the link out, and that person shares it with somebody you don't know. It's nice to see there's a person behind it, your representative. This is your phone number, your email. And here's the packages. And this got to be bigger. I got to talk to James. So it's $149 for the basics. $249 gets you either text chat or video chat. You choose, and the encrypted file share. And then the Elite for $299 gets you everything.
So what's the additional? So
Yeah, let me see if I can make it bigger. It's not the James.
Encore is just the basics, right? And then you get text chat or video chat and encrypted file share.
Correct.
Okay, and then so Elite is text and video. Okay. Makes
Correct.
sense.
And the phone number too, they haven't added yet because I don't think it's available yet.
Yeah.
And I'll find out about that. They put 15 and 21 client action buttons, and I have 24. We just do that, but we did change this. The previous one, Joanne, that you saw, and you're right, Melissa's does that. So I'm going to reach out to James. There's a thing in the system. That's a word I can't come to my head. My head's spinning right now. I get so excited right now. So we did add unlimited usage, unlimited sharing. Oh, maybe they didn't add it. They took it out. I don't see anything that says custom unique link. So we do say it's custom. Unique QR code, Joanne, so it's there. 12 months activation. Full service setup. So we didn't even put it in there, but if people ask, because I've really found the 100 cards I've done, it's usually about 2 weeks, and they've made their changes, and I haven't heard from, I haven't heard any more changes. They've locked and loaded. They're comfortable with what they have. I don't think you're going to be, every week, hey, Dick, I need this. Hey, Joanne, we did have one lady that wanted to change her billboard every day because she changed her hair color. One of our first InPhones that James dealt with, he had a caller. I says, I don't know, Jody. Jody, we can't do that. We're not going to change your billboard every day. Especially now we only have, 1,000 cards. When we get to 10,000, we're just not going to be able to do it. So pick a hair color and stick with it. He's laughing. And I'll get you guys will meet James. He's super excited to meet you. He met Steve Remmel last night. Steve was on for a little bit. It was short notice. I didn't let you know. We will have a meeting next Monday at 5:30. A little late for you, Nick, that James will do. He went over some great training with Latip. And Joanne, this I wanted to share with you. He went to a Latip meeting last week. There were 70 in-person meeting. He was super excited to be able to belly up with people. And he got 15 sold that day. He's probably got more coming. But the president pulled out this big pamphlet with all the businesses that are part of their Latip group. And he goes, Jim, it's a buddy of his. He goes, Jim, what are you guys in the 60s? Well, this is all we know. And he showed him the info. He goes, look, see this directory? Done. Okay, I'm going to share it with everybody. This is unbelievable. So networking groups are really, which Joanne is going to be going to, super powerful, especially for that leader, president, whatever they call themselves. Because, I'm walking around and I need to refer people in BNI. And I know H7 is really good. We want referrals, but it's right there. Well, that's what I did with Tara with you, Nick. I pulled up the info and sent Tara and said, hey, this is Nick. Look what he does. So realtors are low-hanging fruit. Joanne, if you want to start, just reach out to realtors. Search on LinkedIn Realtors, Facebook. He had a cool suggestion. I don't do Facebook much anymore, but he said, make a post. Said, how many people in my group are realtors or no realtors? And you're going to get realtors going to you, Joanne. Yeah, I'm a realtor. What's up? I'm a realtor. And then you can build in, hey, have you seen what I would say, have you seen InPhone for realtors? It's a cool business tool. And then you can lead in the conversation and do your Zoom.
I bet we could sell this to job seekers too. Job seekers be like, hey man, you wanna stick out in the memory of the hiring manager?
Yeah.
Wait till you have your own InPhone. They're gonna be like, who the hell is this guy?
And I'm excited to bring you guys and work with me because the sky's the limit. I mean, people in H7, Joanne's a great group because they really go out to LinkedIn and try to help you get referrals. But like Monday, Diana goes, okay, so who are you looking for? And I'm like, Diana, it's everybody. There really is not any pushback because everybody's looking to connect with somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's another business, another prospect, another client. But realtors seem to love it, especially with these tools. They're going to love these encrypted file share and all that. But just share the info and have people open it up and watch it. The same experience that I had that you guys had. It's going to happen. I did an event Saturday, this Happy Neighborhood Project. If you want to get involved in networking, it's got like 60 Zooms a week all over the country, over the world. And we're global. So I did this. They have this big event called International Happiness Day, and they break down to small groups of 5 or 6. So I couldn't screen share, which bothered me because I really like to do that. So I just said, and Nick, you don't understand this, but I pull a Joanne. She's really taught me so much in presenting. I know I keep edifying her, but it's true. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to post my link and do a call to action. I said, at the end, I would love to do a one-on-one, but do me a favor, just do a quick click on that info and take a look at it. And I saw everybody do it. It was the greatest thing I could have done. I get this text from my info during the meeting. I could probably show it to you. This guy, his name's Ollie. And I think I told you this already, Joanne. Yeah, here it is. Here. He's Nick, his name's Ollie, and he's blind his whole life. He's got 3 blind children. He became a lawyer, went through law school blind. He now works in Washington, D.C. in the Department of Education.
Wow.
So, and I said that in the group. I said, Ollie, you told my story. So I get this message. I just got done. It's 11:43 Saturday. Steve, in the Zoom breakout session with you here, buddy. This is Ollie. I love your page. That has all the links to everything. Absolutely incredible. When can we talk? Available after the conference this afternoon. Thanks. eager to have the same kind of setup that you sent out within the room, just like this. And he posted my link. And got on the phone with him after, the nicest guy. And I told him I love the story. We talked for 2 hours. He's like, my speaking engagement and this and how I do this. And my point of the whole story is just sharing that link and telling people to click on it. I'm getting over and over and over. I know you shared it, Nick. And Joanne's just getting hers now. So she's a warrior. So
how did he, this is going to be an ignorant question. How did he see all that? Like I thought you said he's blind.
Maybe he's not fully blind. That's a great question. I didn't think about it. I'm so excited about InPhone.
You're like telling me this story, and I'm like, okay, somehow InPhone cured his blindness. Like,
boy, if we could do that. Yeah, I think $1 million would be out of our question for each of us. But, and then of course, think about the residual. James brought something up yesterday I want to share with you guys. You sell 1,500 cards this year. And he's seeing about a 90% renew rate. That's auto subscription. And James has promised us that he's going to be customer service. And if somebody wants to cancel, he's going to be very serious with them. Why are you canceling? Did you share it? And by the way, all those people that you shared it with no longer have it. So if you share it with 100 people, when we cut you off, it's going to be blank, and you could lose contact with all those people. And not that it's the selling, but it's about connecting and networking. But he also said, let's say you have 1,500, 1,250 renewed. Well, day one, you have $22,000 in your bank account when they renew. And you have 1,250 referral agents going out and sharing your card the next year. Then the year after that, you have 5,000 InPhone cards. Stop saying InPhones out there. Now you got 5,000, that's 110,000. And he's not a money guy, but we've had some salespeople really complain, going, I'm doing all this work for $22 and not seeing the, I know you both do, seeing what's happening in the future, which is why I'm excited. I mean, you know, Joanne, you both know how hard I'm working on this, just share it with people because one, it's going to help so many people and serve them. But I know down the road next year, it's going to be life-changing. So,
you know, I'm kind of, salespeople are a funny breed. I mean, to me, this is the most brilliant sales model because the question I just asked you, are they really going to build it in generationally so that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels deep, they're now sharing their card and they're saying, oh, I want one. I've never even talked to that person, but it's still linked to me and I'm still making the commission. That's crazy to me. So this has that duplication factor that salespeople love, where you're not even necessarily talking to a lot of these people where the sales are going to come through because they're all just engaging and sharing.
Yep. Because Nick and Steve, and that's exactly, they've shared with people and they've done the preset. When I got those calls, even though you didn't think you did a lot, you did. Like Bob, you know, like Chris Asher, 15 minutes, yeah. What? It's okay. And I should never say that, but I'm like, I don't do it anymore. But it's like, you really? Yeah, let's pull it out. I just pulled up the form right there, helped him fill it out. 20 minutes. He was, you know, still got to finish. I got to reach out to him.
Well, see, for me, it's a win-win. It's like I'm already in a sales call. Like I'm in like probably 7 or 8 sales calls every single day, right? And so this is just another little thing. And I've already had a bunch of people that I've shared this with be like, hey, that's super cool. And, you know, originally I was just sending them, okay, go talk to Steve. Right. But now once I heard, I was like, oh, well, I can join the team here. I've already got a list of like 30 people I can call up.
And I'm super excited that he reached out. And just so you guys know, I busted my ass because I didn't want to build a team to work with. Because I'm hearing stories from James, this guy's in Latip, that Latip group.
Yeah.
And he would show up, well, I'm with InPhone, hey, have a great weekend. And the president complained to James, like, this guy's he's not doing any president, it's only 30 seconds, but you can say a lot in 30 seconds. And we're starting to get, and a lot of these are the young kids.
Yeah.
They don't want to follow up, or when they get their card, don't want to follow up, how'd it go? Have you connected, that type of thing. So when he reached out, I said, I got these people that want to do it. Because he said, Steve, I trust you.
Yeah.
Trust you now that I know you're going to bring good people here, but people that are going to share. And,
Yeah.
when you start, and you can keep doing what you're doing. You're an app developer. Joanne's going to work this probably full time like me, but, it's just super easy. I hate to say it, but it's
this for me. I mean, the app development pays the bills, but it's like, hey, I'm not going to turn up. I already have people who are saying, hey, that's cool. So why not make a few extra bucks? And then it's also security too, right? Because it's like, hey, you know what? What if I hit a dry spell where I don't have as many app development projects? I got another little thing cooking here that's residual.
Warren Buffett-isms, I call it Buffett-isms. He has multiple streams of income.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And I was going to say something.
I actually think this makes me look even better as an app developer, because I like within 10 seconds of knowing me, I'm showing you an app. It's like, hey, and now you have my business card on your phone.
Right.
That's technology.
And Joanne, you just met Nick, and I got to tell you another story about Nick, and I can tell you about. So when I met Nick the first time about InPhone, Joanne, he was telling me what he does, and he says, Steve, and if I say this wrong, let me know, but I share this story as well. He says 70% of the people that come we can't help them. They're going to overspend on an app they don't need. This fits them to a T. And Joanne, it's just like you, kindness, golden heart of, I'm not trying to take people's money. If it's not going to fit you, it's not going to fit you. But now he's got an alternative to share with them that's not hurting now. 7 Hills is probably making 7 Hills look good, because when they're ready for an app, it could be the back end of that. So I'm just super excited. So let me reach out to you. Go ahead, Joanne.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I used to actually sell a very similar product.
This?
Very similar, but not near as functional. And it was with our dear friend who's got his hands in
keep it there with the recording. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. So so I've already been down this path. I know the selling points, and I did sell a few for sure, but this is just a better design. It's quick.
Guys, sorry.
Oh, Nick, great. I'll get you set up. I'll get you set up.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys.
Thanks, Nick. He's such a great guy. He's just like, he's an awesome guy.
You can stop the recording if you want. No, he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah. Bear with me for a second. I gotta stop.